Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm filming this at the Christmas Eve because I'm not visiting my family this year. But I just 1 or 2 hours ago finished very interesting conversation with my one friend. And we were talking about unity versus duality. Instead of seeking for light, we should be seeking the peace. And we are many times forgetting that, at least I am, that we have shadow aspects and light aspects. The more we are searching for this hype or this extreme, we are usually also experiencing the other extreme in one point. Everything is looking for the balance. So is our soul and body and mind. So every single time we are trying to manipulate to certain direction, usually the opposite happens. So instead of looking for extreme hype or this called dopamine boost or love from outside, for example, we should try to find that within and not to force too much to that extreme hype. I'm very guilty of that, and it's normal. We are experiencing this duality world, and it's actually one reason why we are here. We are experiencing this duality. And how I see this universe is that we are all the time between duality and unity. It's like a pendulum. When you put whatever energy, it can be masculine and feminine. When you are putting masculine to the extreme, the feminine is going to be extreme also in one point. And the other way, and the other way, and the other way, until we are coming back to the center. You know how the pendulum is working. It's the same when we are experiencing shadow. We are also experiencing multiple times extreme light or extreme sadness to extreme, called this hype. Instead of trying to loop I understand it's very pleasant feeling to be in, but usually after that extreme you are experiencing this crash, because we are here to experiencing both sides, because it's trying to teach us about this unity, that everything is connected, even those extremes, and between those is balance. Love is all this energy. This sounds super cliche, but it's actually true. That even those extremes, what we are calling, what's the word of this all? This extreme shadow, extreme light, and balance between, or in the middle ground, or black or white, or the gray. Night and a day, and something between. Woman and man, and something between. Calling this all is love. That we are recognizing that everything is one. Even though it's a separation, it's actually one. When there is certain situations happening outside of our control, and there is a fear which is driving us, we are afraid of certain outcome. Instead of blaming finger to other people and the other people's choices, we should all respect each other's opinions and recognize every single one of us has different kind of truth. And to be honest, it's kind of like all of them are right, because everything is already perfect. There is no imperfection, even though everything is kind of imperfect. it's complex topic, but everything is one. When you are starting to really tap to that concept that everything is actually one, and it's something that nobody can tell you. You have to understand everything is actually right. And we can always blame on finger that, oh, those people did this, those people caused the war, or for example, that people was bully at the school, or that raping that girl, or like what can ever the situation be. Everything has a reason, even though they might seem very extreme, very extreme. For example, that bully maybe has experienced something in her life or his life or their life has led to that bullying, and they haven't meant that, because that was the only coping mechanism that they had in that certain time, and they had to go through that in that current universe to learn the certain lessons that they would never learn if they wouldn't go through those things. Same concept comes with every single thing. When you are seeking extreme, you are also experiencing the other extreme in one point. What if you are instead searching for peace? And what I mean by peace is balance. Something that is between all these extremes. Sounds boring, I know. But that boredom gives you this concept that you understand unity a little bit better, maybe easier, because you can see from this middle ground the both extremes quite clearly. Not necessarily, but it's when you are seeing everything from the bird's eye spectrum, that okay, for example, feminine is there and masculine is there, and you are realizing that actually there is full spectrum from this extreme and this extreme, like watercolor going on, and there is middle ground. There is no extreme black and white. There is no extreme hot and cold. At the same time, there actually is. But we can never experience those. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. If someone here would be the darkest, worst version of the human, that person wouldn't exist here. At the same time, if there would be somebody who is so pure, so bright, so saint, that wouldn't exist either. In this planet, at least, there is no extremes. Also, that middle ground is quite difficult to find. That ultimate peace and balance of everything. That's why we call those certain people in our mankind's history, for example, like Jesus or Moses or Buddha, we call them enlightenment. Because they were very center. They were already kind of seeing the whole spectrum, and they were kind of people who were very close to the balance. And every single religion, for example, have their own kind of belief system to describe enlightenment person, and have their own truths, and that's fine. Everybody can have their own truth. Only concern here is that we are starting to we are feeding, like my friend was saying, we are always feeding the fear and that duality, if we are pointing the finger that the other person is wrong and we are not seeing our own weak points, for example. And when you are acknowledging your own weak points, your own shadow side, that none of us is here perfectly pure, then you are even closer to that balance. Don't get me wrong here. That balance and peace, what is in the center, it's different thing than love. Love is this energy which is seeing all of this, even the duality, that spectrums. And we can always choose if we want to live life by the extremes. That's very colorful life. I mean, that's very, we call it dramatic life. And we are, many of us is actually experiencing right now very, very black and white times. We are experiencing times which are extremes. We are seeing lots of separation happening. People are believing this and the other people are believing this. The people are afraid and people who aren't afraid. There is lots of bad things, we are called them bad things, happening. Letting go things happening in our lives now, right now. But we are also able to choose how we see them. If we see them as lessons or redirection from the universe or God, and this God is actually this love, this all, like black and white and gray and balance and peace. Love is just the vibration. Love is all. That's just a word, by the way. In my language, it's called rakkaus. Feeling, that's the ultimate truth, basically. Love, which is all. And we are just the particles. If you think about, for example, God or universe or love, you would think it would be human body. We would be little cells, and every single cell has a different kind of purpose. Our solar system. So basically it's the same thing. It's like a little bit bigger, and we are particles of those. Like it's always like everything is happening at the same time in a smaller scale and bigger scale. Planet Earth has the same amount of water percentage than in human body has. You can find every single aspect of the one planet Earth. It's kind of like the same as a human cell. You get the point. I don't have to start to explain. Everything is happening in the same way. Cutting it the smallest particle to the point, and you can find the same aspect. So basically everything is connected. And we are awakening to that as a humankind. Now, right now. How we should approach this thing is to be very, very gentle to ourselves and the others. Not attacking. And we all have the solutions to the problems. What is happening globally right now? The other people are thinking this is the solution, and other people are thinking this is the solution. And then we are blaming if somebody thinks a different way. I understand that people are afraid. That, oh, that people does that. That people doesn't do that. Those aspects never leads anything good. When people are getting against each other. Or forced cooperation never leads anything good. True collaboration with other people is always the right thing to do. What feels true to you? Not listening to other people. What do you believe in? That's the most important. We all have different experience here, So there is multiple truths, because we are here to learn. For example, I'm Aquarius and I have a Leo moon. There is two aspects which are fighting against each other a lot. Those aspects are teaching two different aspects, like opposites. The same can happen when the person is very humanitarian and the other person is extremely in the self-empowerment and same time in the ego, in this duality. What we can learn from each other, actually, as the human beings. The other person can learn from the other person that, hey, it's not always all about other people, and the other person can learn that, hey, it's not only all about me. Both sides are actually right. We need that self-love, this healthy selfishness, and we also need this humanitarian aspects, that we all are one. We can go different kind of things in this. Hope that this was giving something to somebody. Some people, I would say Merry Christmas, or some have a nice holiday season. We are not here to fight. That's the biggest thing. We are all one. And bye.